Okay, today we are going to talk about multiplying by one digit. We've already talked about, we've covered how we can learn the basic multiplication facts, which is super duper important for us. You should be practicing these facts every single night, at least 10 minutes. Have somebody help you, quiz you on some facts, give you random single digit multiplication problems. That would be the best way to practice multiplying. If we can understand our math facts or multiplication facts, then the rest of the math comes a little bit easier than it would if we did not know our multiplication facts. We won't always have a multiplication table right next to us. We won't always have the opportunity to go look or to pull multiplication strips. You need to practice your multiplication facts every single day. Go ahead and get this written down and move to the next part. So things are pretty simple today. A very simple I can statement. We're going to be multiplying by one digit, and the I can statement is I can multiply by one digit by using my strategies. I'm going to teach two different ways that you could do this, so that you know there are multiple ways to get this done. The first way I'm going to teach you is called partial product, and the other way I like to teach is called the compact method. So let's go ahead and start with this problem. We are going to suppose that a school cafeteria worker orders 3 cases of milk. I'm going to write this down. 3 cases of milk. And a case is big because it's going to have lots of little cartons in there. Yes, you do need to write this down in your notes. And in each case there are 28 cartons. Cartons like the cartons you have at lunchtime. There's 28 per case. How much milk did she order? On this one you can use whatever way you see fit to solve this. I want you to get an answer to this and write it on your paper. I'm going to be looking for this answer in just a little bit when you come to the table. That means go ahead and do the math. You should be doing the math now. Figure out how many cartons of milk that she had. If you need to, pause this so that you can finish it up and get an answer written in that box, whatever way you see fit to get that answer in there. Hopefully by now you have an answer, because we had 3 cases, we had 3 groups, and in each group there were 28 cartons. So we're trying to figure out what 3 groups of 28 is. We would usually write this problem as a multiplication problem. Some of you may have solved it by repeated addition, which is the same thing as multiplication. But I would much rather do a multiplication problem because it looks like there's a lot fewer steps with this. I always put the longer number, the number with more digits, on top. It just works out easier for me. I even think sometimes I'll put the big number that's bigger on top because it works out easier for me. But I've seen people that do it flip-flop and it still works. I would suggest this. Please do this. This would be a good choice. Okay, so I'm going to show you partial product. So in this problem, we're doing 2 different steps. We want to separate this 28 out, and we want to say, oops, that color is not going to show up. We want to say that we have 2 different place values in the number of 28. We have the 1's place value and we have the 10's place value, because this 2 is not just a 2, it represents 20. So we have 2 different problems here, and we're going to make 2 different diagrams to show this. So we're separating that 28 out, and if we were to do the math problem of 8 times 3, it would look like this. We have 8 boxes across, and we have 3 boxes up and down. I know it's kind of tough to draw these boxes on yours, but you can go ahead and draw a rectangle and label it with an 8 and a 2. When we multiply that out, or count it out, either way, because it's 8 long and 3 tall, we would get 24. Then we get to do the next multiplication problem. Because we've already dealt with the 1's place value, now we want to make sure that we're dealing with the 10's place value. Well, that 2 is not just a 2, it's representing 20. So we have to draw a picture of 20 by 3 because we're multiplying it by 3, 20 groups of 3. And so I know you can go ahead and draw this on your paper, label it with 20 and 3, and when we count that out, or when we multiply it, we find out that there are 60 boxes in there. So we did part of each of multiplying. We multiplied the ones and then we multiplied the tens. Now we have to take those two numbers and we need to add them together. This is what's called partial product. We take a product of one place value, we do the product of the next place value, and we add them together to get a total. 0 plus 4, 6 plus 2. Our answer to this is 84. Hopefully you also got that answer and it's back there in that box that you're going to show me. So on your paper I should see in this box that we have 84. Now there's another way that we can handle this math problem is something called the compact method. And the first way was called the partial product. This is called the compact method, where we do some carrying. We say 8 times 3 is 4, and we carry a number up to the top and remember it up there. And then we do 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. This is called the compact method because it's a little bit smaller compared to our drawing in our last one. The only way that you are going to get better at this is practice, practice, practice. I know that there are people that say, oh, well, why can't I be good at it one time? I try it once, I should be good, but it doesn't work with multiplication. You have to practice. The more you practice, the better you get. And in my saying, practice makes permanent. So we're going to go ahead and practice. I'm going to show you two different problems, and on the one on the left, I'm going to use partial product, and the one on the right, I'll use the compact method, so you can choose which method you like better. So for partial product, I have a couple of different problems. I have the one zone, I have the tens, and I also have the hundreds that I have to do. So I'm going to do three different problems here. So I need to start with, I'm going to do purple first for the one zone. 7 times 1 is 7. I'm going to actually write out the problems that I'm doing to the side so you can see. Because that first one right there is representing the one zone. Then I'm going to move to the 10 zone, and that's 7 times 10. Because this one right here is representing a tens place value. So that one would be 70. And I have to line them all up. If I don't line them all up, it won't work. And then my next zone is going to be the 100 zone. So I'm going to do 7 times 100. And that is representing this hundreds right here. So 7 times 100 is 700. So now I get to add them all together. And I say 7 plus 0 plus 0 is 7. 7 plus 0 is 7. And 7 plus nada is 7. So there's my partial product method. Here I'm going to go over to my next problem, and I'm going to do the compact method. We're going to do 5 times 5 is 25, and then we're going to carry the 2. I always like to circle it so that I remember I need to add that in later. My stylus is not letting me do that. There we go. Then I'm going to go across to this zone. 5 times 9 is 40, plus 2 more. Nope, 9 times 5 is not 40. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 2 more. Now we have 47. We put the 7 down there and carry the 4. Nope, it's not wanting me to do that. And I like to circle it. And then I have to do 5 times 7, which is 35, plus 4 more. I get 3,975. Okay, let's try some more. I'll do the same thing here. I'll do partial product on this side, and I'll do compact method on this side. So partial product here, I'm going to start with my ones. I have 8 times 3 equals 24. Then my next one is 30 times 3, because this 3 is in the 10 zone. So 30 times 3, I have 90. And then I'll go with my next one, which is in the 100 zone. So I have 400 times 3. I drop my 2 zeros down from the 400 times the front number, which is 12, and add. 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 9 plus nothing is 11. Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 1,314 is what I get. There's partial product. Here's the compact method. I'm going to start here. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. Circle it. 4 times 6 is 24. Plus 1 more is 25. Put my 5 down. Carry my 2. Circle it. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 more is 10. So both methods get us to an answer. We're going to be practicing this a lot today on Class Kick, and then we'll have some different activities that we're practicing on multiplication, because practice makes permanent, and the more practice we get in, the better we're going to get. As always, happy mathing!